Good morning, friends. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Michelle. I am a first grade teacher in Central Florida. It's Friday. I thought I would just do a very quick check-in video with you guys this week. I'm gonna film some reading groups today, and I kind of wanted to share with you my process for planning reading groups. I'm going to walk you through what we've been doing this week and in reading groups, and then walk you through what I'm going to do today. Plan with me what we're going to do today, and then I'll film that, and then at the end of the day I will talk to you about where our next steps are for next week. I'm also going to just kind of share with you some center ideas because I need to switch out my centers. It's actually not as early as I wanted it to when I got here this morning. It is already a little after 8. I've been here for about 10 minutes or so, kind of cleaning up. We are setting up our hallway with a massive gingerbread unit. I'll insert a picture here of that, but I'll talk to you more about that next week when we kind of finish all of the things. So I have a few more things to unpack and clean up. I've been cleaning up some balloons and stuff from the hallway. I have to unpack this pack of boxes. I'll share more about that next week, but I had one of my wonderful parents basically cleared my Amazon wish list. So I had a whole bunch of stuff to bring in today. We've also got our Christmas tree set up. You can see the ladder is still out. I got to put that away, but I don't want to take up any more time. I want to sit with you. I want to plan my reading groups today. Today's going to be kind of an off day. We have 2 teachers on my team are out, so I have to help their subs. Let me walk while I'm doing this. And I have my lights out. That's why it's a little dark in here, just to kind of keep it calm this morning. And we have our holiday shop. Our school holiday shop is starting. So we're, if you don't do a holiday shop, for us, it's our PTO runs it. They got a ton of stuff ranging from, I think, just $1, and I think the biggest thing is like $10. Kids can bring in money and buy gifts for their family. They have a special envelope that goes home with who they're buying for and how much the money in the envelope is allocated for them, and I'm hoping that it does really well. It's really sweet. The kids love to go and pick out little items and trinkets for their family members. So we have that first thing this morning at 9 o'clock. My son's going on a field trip. My husband's chaperoning it, so I got kind of all that going on. So I'm just going to try to get right into it, talk to you about what we've been doing in reading group this week, and plan for our lessons for today. And then, because that's how I do it, I plan kind of every 2 days, and then I'll plan this afternoon with you for Monday. So let's get going, friends. So I'm just going to walk you through what we've done this week, where we're at, and what's kind of where, what we've been doing, what I think is next for this group. This is a group of 3 of my babies, four babies now. So I'm going to just kind of break down what I've done, and I'm just going to plan it out real fast. I've tried to plan this video where I just kind of typed everything on the computer and just shared with you that way, but it's just too much. It's just too much. Okay, so this group I see Monday, Wednesday, and then today. We've been rereading some of the decodables, both Monday and Wednesday when we met. We reread our decodables. So I just jot down that they're going to come over and they're going to do that. If you know my lesson plans, I kind of have myself a list of ideas over here. For this group, I really like to do the alphabet tracing because they struggle with not knowing their letters, but just in the moment in time, forgetting the direction of their letters. And so I like to do their alphabet tracing. But this week, since it's coming back from Thanksgiving, I wanted to reread with them and make sure that they weren't struggling on their decodables. They're just really slow at reading, and not just sounding out a lot. They're just really slow. So that's something that I really want to work on with this group. On Monday, we did sound switch with beginning sounds. On Wednesday, we did ending sounds, sound switch. I think when they come over today, because our time is going to be short, instead of listening to them read, I am going to have them do some tracing. So just to quick get them settled in while I am dealing with things going on in the classroom. And they struggled with this ending sound switch, so I want to continue. They do the beginning sounds pretty well, but we're going to do ending sounds again. And I think we're going to use, we might use some mats and chips for that, mats and chips, because Wednesday we just did verbal, like oral. Their phonics drill, and this has been really good for them, has been doing their phoning graphing cards and sans trays and working on whatever skill is in that book for the week. So we're going to continue that just to keep the consistency. So I'll write that in really fast. I'll fast forward this, so speeding that up. So this is where it gets tricky. I haven't picked a book for them. We've been doing, and we did a very easy NG book this week, but that was a bit of a struggle for them. Those ending glued sounds are really tricky anyway for a lot of my kiddos. So I want to do something. I want to back it up a little bit and do something with an ending blend that's not NG. Maybe like an MP or an NT, something like that. So I'm going to go look on my computer and see what I can find here in a second, and that will determine the red words, and then that will also determine what we do for our post. Okay, so that's one group. My other group that I see today, make sure there's no names showing. I only met with them. This is my other Monday, Wednesday, Friday group. I only met with them on Monday, so I've got to, kind of check in with them. We had something going on Wednesday. Wednesday was a short day, and we got started late for some reason, and I can't for the life of me think of why, but I remember something happening. So they reread with me on Monday, and since it's been a couple days since I've sat down and met with this group, I had a new student. That was yesterday, though. What happened to this group? Anyway, we're going to reread again. This is only 2 babies. Now, and I just got a new baby yesterday, so I'm hoping that I can kind of fit him in this group. I'm hoping that this is a good spot for him, but we'll see. I have to test him today. So we're going to reread, and then I think we worked on blending Monday. Let me look at my notes. I'm going to lift this up and just peek at my notes real quick. Oh, yes. So we did a blending activity, and then where I just kind of did the first 2 letters. So we're going to do some blending pyramids. Oh, no. That's what we did down here. Roll and read. What did we do? We didn't do blending pyramids. We did blending. Oh, we did it with chips. That's what we did. We did blending with chips. I pulled the chips out. Okay, so we're going to do blending and some substitution. Man, it's been a long week. You can tell by Friday what happens to me. And then our phonics, we did roll and read, and we played switch it. And they really like switch it. So we're going to do switch it again with our next list, and I'll show you what that list looks like. I think that's what's covering up my names down here. Okay, so this is our switch it list. We did this list, and we stopped right after Matt, I believe. So we'll finish the end of that list. This is from Reading Simplified, this list, and it's really good. It kind of gives you steps, and I've been using my little foamy letters, these right here, with my students, and I just have them come over and pull out the letters really fast, but I'll probably go ahead and pull those out. It tells you the letters to pull out at the top, and then we switch the words. So we stopped right here at Matt, and then I think I'll have them start with Matt and then continue on, because we're going to work on ending blends. So we're going to do that. Let me switch that back over and cover. Sorry, I have a lot of interruptions going on today, you guys. It's a Friday, and there's lots going on. So I'm going to try to get through this. Hopefully I don't like just say forget this and delete this footage for you. But I think the last thing I was talking about was the sound switch, and I showed you the sound switch. And so we're going to be doing that next set after Matt, because that'll work on ending blends. Now, they have been doing beginning blends, and they did very, 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 very well with this story. This was a story, Spot Spins. I still have it right here. They did very well. This is, forget where I got this one from. I forget. Road to Decode, maybe. I think that's where this one came from. I'll link that website below. I haven't used it enough to kind of give you an honest opinion about it. So I will keep you updated. It is a subscription website with all decodables. But I'll just kind of keep using it. I think I have this subscription to the end of the year, so to end of the school year. So I'll just keep using it and we'll see. But I'm going to go pull another one, and I'm going to pull an ending blends book. I know that. And then I'll be able to pull their vocabulary and then the next step. I have a feeling, because I have a new friend. Let me flip it back around. And I got to go get my kiddos, but I just remembered why we didn't have group on Wednesday, and I only worked with my first group. It's because we had a Veterans Day stuff that we were making up. So we had a veterans program that was supposed to be the night before Veterans Day for our families and our community. And then we had Hurricane Nicole come through, so we were out of that school those 2 days. So we did a makeup program yesterday. So Wednesday morning, since it was early day, we opted to do some veteran stuff, because first grade did, I'll put a picture here. First grade did a big hallway display for our veterans to say thank you. And so we were doing that Wednesday morning. We were trying to do all that stuff. So I was pulling kids one at a time, or in a small group, and we were doing some writing activities and some different things together for that wall. So now, oops, that's not what I needed, and I'm running behind. So I'm going to pull their decodables. I'm going to print off some things. I am going to be using, where's my decodables? I'm going to pull stuff from, I think, Guided Phonics. Is that the one? No, it wasn't Road to Decode. That Spot Spins was not Road to Decode. That's perfect, because I can pull one of these. Blends. I want to do ending blends. So my last group, I told you I was going to do ending blends. I'm really focused on making sure I get to them, since I haven't seen them since Monday. So let me grab they did Spot Spins. We're going to do, let's look at the sting. I think this is going to be too hard, the sting. I do not like to get stung. Actually, no, this is going to be a good one for this group. It's got some review of some beginning blends, and it's got a few ending blends. That's going to be good for this group, so it's going to be an extension. So I'm going to print that one. And then my other group, I'm going to print another, let's see, we did the path. I tried to do a white cake. What will she do? No, that's too much. That whisk, that will pick it off. It's on his neck. Rick had a tick. Well, I like this one. We're going to do this one, Sick Rick. Okay. My other group, I tried to do some ending blends, the ending NG with them, but that was a struggle. So we're going to go backwards a little bit and just kind of, we're going to do something to build some confidence today. And what I like to do is I like to pull a decodable, and I also like to pull like decodable sentences. I like to write down some decodable sentences. I like to do some sentence pyramids with them. So I'm probably just going to pull a whole bunch of things. There go my lights. I don't think I can turn them on from over here. It's so frustrating. I actually have to print these and go get my students from the cafeteria and start my day. So I will film some of our reading group stuff this morning, and I'll just see you after school.
All right. That's it.
If you fill out your reading logs, then I have a pizza coupon for you. You get lunch in the classroom and a certificate. And we do that every single month. Alright, so I'm going to give you a word and we're going to do some sound switching. Okay, so we're just going to use these boxes because they're already there. These are our Conan boxes. We're going to use these sound boxes to map some words, but we're going to be switching some sounds. So the last time we did this, we just did it with our mouths. We didn't have any chips. Okay, so I'm going to borrow yours and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so everybody can see me. Everybody see? All right. So I've got an extra chip, right? So anytime I switch out my sound, I'm going to switch it for whatever extra color I have, okay? So if I have the word, I'm going to do an easy one, watch me. If I have the word cat, I'm going to go cat, at, okay? I'm not going to touch this sound, it's just there. Now I have 3 sounds to the word cat. If I said, let's switch it to the word bat, then we'll take that away and put that there, okay? Before, when we've done this or when we do it in the morning during integrity, we always just switch it, like we'll say cat, change to b, and you guys tell me the new word is bat. But I'm going to tell you what the new word is, and you're going to have to find that sound in your chips, okay? Got it?
Yep.
Okay, ready? All right, your first one, this is an easy one. Your first one is sit. Okay. Now I want to switch it to the word hit. Good job. You are switching that beginning sound, okay? Now I want to switch hit to hat. Switch hit to hat. Okay, a lot of you switched the beginning sound. Think about that. I had it, and I wanted to make it at. So what am I going to do if I want to make it at? What am I going to do? Which sound am I switching? Middle sound. There you go. Okay. You can't just flip-flop these because you had it. So if you just switch those, then you're not switching correctly. Put your chips down here. Okay. Now you have it, and I want you to make it at. So you take one of these and you switch. You don't move these around. You still need the other sounds there. All right, now you have at, and I want you to make it at. Good job. Okay, now we're going to do some other sounds, so listen very carefully. You have the word at, and I want you to make it a, like I pass you in the hall. What are you going to do? Amazing. Good job. Love it. Okay, now you have, tap this word with me. A, and I want you to make it a. A. You have a, and I want you to make it a. Which sound did you switch?
The end.
The end. You should have switched the ending sound. We had ass. We wanted to make it a. No, that can stay over there for a minute. Okay. Sounds. Ready? Was that upside down? Sorry. No, it was right. Okay. Or. This one? Thank you. I couldn't hear you. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to give you sand trays. Split your sand. Your sound is okay, reset. You know 2 ways to make this sound. Split your sand. Let's make sure we're only using one hand. So the hand that you write with is the hand that you do this in. If you go back and forth between 2 hands, then your brain is going to get confused with that. So make sure you only use the hand that you write with. Ready? Your sound is k. C says k. Okay, you did it again. You switched. You did this side hand over here, and you did this hand over here. Which hand do you write with? Okay, so this is the only finger that should be in this sand. Okay? Reset. Your sound is mm. Reset. Oh, we gotta go faster. Your sound is P. Reset. Your sound is, oh, you know 2 ways for this. You know 2 ways for this sound. Your sound is says. F, says. Good job. Okay. Let's do 2 more. Reset. Your sound is ch. Good job. C, H says ch. All right, last one. Reset. Your sound is y. Y. Okay. Okay, look at this word again. Hold on. Real quick, because I don't want you to miss it in the story. What is this? Is it an open syllable or a closed syllable? So if it's closed, then that O is saying ah, right? Ah. Ah. There you go. I know that F sometimes looks like R, okay, especially if we're flipping things around a little bit. That's okay. All right, let's open up to the first page. First 2 pages. Let's find that CK diagraph. Point to CK diagraph word. Okay, I'm going to give you a little red crayon twisty, and I want you to underline the diagraph in the story. Underline the words of the diagraph. Don't push it up too hard, because if you push it up too hard, it'll break, right? Underline the words with the diagraph CK. Okay, now go back and read just those words that you underlined.
Too slow.
Okay, try turn the page and do the very same thing. Okay. Stop. Look again. Look again. You're saying read it. Tick. There you go. All right. Now I want you to turn to the beginning and read Sick Rick. There we go. Let's see. Good job. All right. Now I want to change that word from hang to bang. Bang. Like the fireworks went bang.
I want fireworks for my bedroom.
Okay. Now erase that whole word because we're going to do a whole bunch of different ones, not just switching out sounds the whole time. Okay. Now let's do that word song. Pound it. Song. Tap it. Song. Oh my goodness, look how smart you guys are. All right, now I want to change that one from song to sing. What are you going to do? Pound it. Sing. Sing. Tap it. Sing. You knew what I was going to do before I even said it, huh? Look how good you guys are. Okay. Check that vowel. Check that vowel. Ing. Remember, there's not really an ENG. So we won't have ENG with our glued sounds. All right, now listen very carefully. This is a tricky one. I want to change it from sing to bring. 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 If you feel like you need to pound and tap it, do it. Bring. Bring. I love it. You are so smart. Okay. Erase and put your things in your bowl. We're going to finish our story real fast before everybody cleans up. So here's our story for today. It's called The Sting. What kind of sting did we get? A bee sting. It looks like the bee sting her. Oh no, it's a little kitty cat. I wonder if the kitty cat gets stung or if it's the little girl that gets stung. What do you think?
I think it's the little kitten because
you think the kitten?
It's a bee sting mine.
Oh, so let's see. Okay. Oh, you're so eager to read. Okay, I'm going to let you read, and I'm going to see if there's what we need to work on. So go ahead. Go ahead and read. Read that again. I. You're adding an N sound. It. Stra. Ing. You should be sitting at your seat, please.
I do not like I do not like to think. Done. I did it. That was pretty easy.
I love to hear when a story feels easy to you. But on to what I was going to talk to you about. So when I printed these lesson plans back in the beginning of the week, I printed the wrong one, so I don't have the student names in the bottom. And so there go my lights. I was trying to take notes and film and listen to them and pay attention, and I don't know how it's going to turn out. I hope it's helpful to you, but I thought I would kind of run through what I noticed. So my first group, which is like my group that needs a lot more support, they're not my lowest babies. They're just babies that it's like they're missing puzzle pieces, and I'm trying to figure out how to kind of fit all of those puzzle pieces back in. They did very, very well today. We did a little bit more than I wanted to, which is part of the reason why it took so long, because I feel like that group was like 40 minutes long. It wasn't. It was probably more like a full 30 minutes, which is too long for a small group. But we did our alphabet tracing. They did some sound boxes with a new page that I found, and that I didn't really like that page. I like the page, I just don't need to use it for what I used it for today. I had too many ideas in my head and I couldn't get focused. So I won't use that page again for that. Usually I just have them use like normal, like a quick Elkonin box page. And I pulled out that page today. I don't know why. So we did sound switching, which they at first did really not good with. They can do it very well orally. Well, the ending sound is a little bit tricky, but they can switch sounds orally, especially because we'll use like hand motions. That's a big part of Heggerty, is using hand motions. But when I put the chips with it today, they got so confused. And I don't know if the confusion was in the fact that they had to manipulate something, which should be easier, but it was like their brain was having to do too much. So we're going to work on that again next week. I'm about to print the lesson plans for Monday. So that's going to go back on there. I'm going to try it again with chips on Monday. And I don't know how much I'll film of that, but I'm going to do it again with chips on Monday. Then we did some I had them write some of the words, which again, I think that was too much. So I don't think I'm going to put that in there, but I do like having them. So I did like 4 different like phonemic awareness and phonics activities, and I should have just done one. That's probably why our group went so long. And then it didn't give us very long to kind of go over the CK sound, which was what I wanted to work on with them today. So some things that I need to do better as a teacher. On a Friday, my brain is just so scattered, and I have people coming in the door, and I had kids asking me questions and things not rolling out correctly, and I was late to school this morning, so I'm just all over the place. So a lot of those things were completely all me. Number 2, they did very, very, very well with the book. I was very surprised. They kept wanting to say the ch for just the T sound, which is usually what you hear with TR. So one of my students kept wanting to say, I think it was tick, and he kept wanting to say either chick or trick or truck. And I think that was just I mean, at least he wasn't saying other words, because anytime you work with CK, you have to be careful. If you know, you know, right? So we're going to continue to work on the CK digraph in that group. That was a really good skill for them. And they need more practice. Even though they did really well with it, I want to do another book on that. So I'm going to pull another book with CK. My second group that you're going to see. We had a very short amount of time since that first group took up so much space. And then one of those babies was in a pullout. So when she came back is when I pulled that group. So we literally I was trying to cram it in 15 minutes, which is about the time for that group. But it just, I don't know, it felt so rushed. They did, they reread one of their books and they did very well. And my little baby that, she struggled a little bit because she thinks that when she thinks she can't do something, she just gives up, and she will, like, not really whine, but kind of like probe me to just tell it to her, to give it to her. So she'll say things like, oh, I can't do this. I just don't know that word. And it was the word they, and that was the word that we had worked on Monday in that group. So I knew that she could do it if she just tried, but she looks down at it, and if it's not, I feel like if it's not a 3-letter word, then she immediately goes into an I can't mode. And I was so proud of her, because once she sat and she sounded it out and she didn't guess, she did it very well. And she did that with another word. She did it with the word here, I think it was. And we worked on the NG sound, which is what we're going to say. I showed them how to do the sentence pyramids, which they loved. They thought that was so cool to do the sentence pyramids. So that page is going to go in their center folder for them. And then we did our NG, which we've done in whole group OG. But I have one baby in this group that always wants to add an E for an I. She always, it doesn't matter. It's so hard for her to write the I. So we worked on that. We did some just real quick encoding and decoding activities really fast, and then we dove into the book. It was a very fast group. We didn't even get to kind of close anything out because I had to run my kids to music because we were over our time. So I'm going to pull an NG book again for them next week. So it is after school. It's about 3:45. My goal is to be out of here by about 4:30, so I'm going to kind of go through this pretty quickly. I think when I left off, I was still trying to find decodable books. I checked the Measured Mom, and I found a book, but I can't, they get emailed to you, and it hasn't come through on our email. I don't know why, so I can't wait on that. So I found another book, with one of my sets that I have, from Tara West. And so this is for my CK group, my group that's going to work on CK. So I think I'm going to print that one. It's called At the Dock, and she's got a whole bunch. It's from her Guided Phonics set. So she's got a whole bunch of books. So I'm going to screen record again and kind of show you the books that I have found, because I'm going to print those. And then I'm going to go to the office. We have a big scholastic library in our school. And my 2 groups that I see on Tuesday and Thursday are doing, they're way past decodables. They're like on 2nd and 3rd grade level reading, like brilliant readers. So we work a lot on writing and comprehension in those groups. So I'm going to go pull the books for those, and then I'll visit with you about what I did with those groups this week and what my plan is for next week for them, or at least for Tuesday, and we'll see what happens Tuesday. But I'm going to go pull some books that I know that they'll find interesting, some things that they're interested in, and I'm going to finish my lesson plans. That's what I'm going to screen record, and I'm going to pull my lesson. I have to do a couple, print a couple things for our OG stuff. We're doing Y saying E at the end of a word next week, so I've got to print all that stuff as well. So I've got a lot to do, and my goal is to get out of here in 45 minutes. Okay, friends, so I went and pulled a couple books from my other groups, and I thought I would just kind of visit with you about what these other groups did this week. Since I don't meet with them on Fridays, I didn't film anything for them today. So my group, one of my groups, I just call my blue group, did the Scholastic book Bears nonfiction. They're really struggling with topic and details, which is a major standard for us, is to be able to identify the topic of a story and give 3 details that go along with that topic. So I'm trying to hit nonfiction books with that group as often as possible. So we did nonfiction Bears, which they loved. They thought it was so cool. The pictures in here are phenomenal. Like, where's the baby bear picture? They just thought this was the coolest thing. This picture here. They were like, oh my gosh, that's a bear. It looks like a little dog or something. So they, we worked on, as far as like phonics for that group, we worked on R-controlled, because there was a lot of R-controlled vowels in the story. So with these 2 groups, I typically will pull ideas from old school. You know, you kind of go through the story that your students are about to read. You find skills in there that you know that they're struggling with. You find words and things, patterns that they need help with, and you focus on the comprehension and the writings. That's what we did. We did a nonsense word list to warm up. We did have a group yesterday. Oh my goodness, sorry. It is 5 o'clock. We didn't have a group yesterday because I had a new student, and so I was working with him on some skills during my small group time. But we did on Tuesday a nonsense word list. We did some blends sound deletion at the beginning. For example, if it was like black and we take away the b, what are you left with? That kind of thing, because that's something they're struggling with our Haggerty. We did R-controlled phonics activities. We focused on the topic and details. There was a word in here, a vocabulary word, that all the red words they know. So it's more about vocabulary for this group. We did hollow. We worked on the word hollow. Goodness. And we did a quick couple sentence informational writing about something that they had learned. I had them write 2 sentences on the story. Some things that I noticed with this group and what we're going to be working on Tuesday. And let me pull out the book that I got for them, which is called Wonderful Worms. This is our Scholastic library here. It looks like this. I never really used the lesson plan. I feel like those lesson plans, sometimes you kind of get stuck in a box. They're good for like last minute, but you get stuck in a box looking at those. So I wanted to continue with like, sort of like, giving them information, but I wanted it to be a little bit more challenging, and this one is because it has words that are multisyllabic. So, and it also has plural nouns, which we have been working on during our writing time. But some things that I noted was that they needed more syllable practice. So that's something that I'm going to put in the plans. I'm actually just going to, because we'll have Tuesday and Thursday next week with this group. And I'll see if I can kind of show this without showing them. So I have 3 spots there, and so I'm just going to put Tuesday and Thursday to save paper. So I said that they needed more practice with syllables. I had one little friend who was struggling with the longer words, and so we're going to work on the syllable practice. And she also struggled with walk versus wake. The word was walk, and she kept saying wake. So we're gonna I'm gonna look through and see if long vowels is in here. I think it is, just to kind of refresh their memories, because they can read that kind of stuff. It's just they speed, and that's 2 of my friends did that. They sped read so quickly. They skipped over commas. The flow of some of the longer sentences didn't make sense. So fluency is going to be a big thing for this group, which is where I love this thing. And this is probably going to be a little controversial, but this is from my book, and I think it's in here. I think this is the Making the Most of the Small Groups book that I talk about often. A long time ago, probably 10 years ago, I made this sucker. I just put small groups on the front, and in there's a ton of ideas. I don't know if you can see that or if it'll be backwards, but comprehension I just put at the top, and then I put the little notes page from the book. I copied them and then shrunk it down to fit. Now you could probably do it a whole lot easier on computers, but this was so long ago that I just copied it on my copier, and then I shrunk it down on the copier so that it fit on my thing. So you can see right there I have fluency as a thing, and it gives prompts and possible focuses for your fluency lessons with your students. Now I have students that are not reading, regulating of the speed of reading. Teach students how to vary the rate at which they read. While reading, they should speed up when the action is excited and slow down their reading when they want to illustrate something as suspenseful. So that's something that we could work on. I'm going to look in the book and see. I don't think that'll apply to this book, but reading in phrases will teach kids to move their eyes more quickly across the line to the end of the phrase, helping them read in phrases so it sounds like speech rather than reading word by word. Intonation and expression, reading the punctuation, those are all like ideas on here. And so some prompts that I can give them might be like asking questions like speed up if it's exciting, using pauses to build anticipation, stop at the periods, make your voice go up at the end of a question, read with excitement. Nothing like new or fancy. It's just helpful to have that as a guide. So as I look through this book, that's probably what I'm going to focus on, is some more of our fluency, because it's pretty short. If you see that, it's going to be some of the more of the vocabulary and some of the longer words. Underground, I don't think they'll struggle with that, but they may. They live where it's cool and dark and damp, where roots spread out like underground trees. So that might trick them up, actually, like spread. That might be a little trickier for them, because we've been talking a lot about EA as a vowel team. And so to understand that it's also going to say a short E. Worms feel sounds with their whole bodies. They feel thunder when I walk. They are wonderful diggers, passageways, and burrows. There's a word. So I'm going to write all of that down in here on my lesson plan, and that will be more of our focus. Now my blue, or not my blue group, my purple group, that is my blue group. I have so many groups, you guys, it's just unreal. My purple group did the book Owls. We did the book Owls by Gail Gibbons. And actually we didn't get much finished in that group, so I have a continuation of their lesson plan, so I'll probably do that. I think I had them write down, we did a KWL chart. That's what we did. We did a KWL chart, and I had them read it and write down things that they learned. So we did a, what do you know about owls? What do you want to learn? And then we wrote that together. And then what did you learn? And I think I wrote that on a whiteboard. I did. Look, but it's almost, see, this is how crazy sometimes my groups are. So we did what they know, what they want to know, and then they have to fill in what they learned. I could have printed that off on a fancy chart or whatever, but nobody got time for that. So I pulled, so we're going to go over what they learned. I'll listen to a couple of them read. Like I said, that group of kiddos is like on a 4th grade reading level, so I really have to challenge myself to find more. I pulled this book, Tigers, which is like a 4th grade book. Says 3rd to 4th grade book on the level. But it's, when I was looking at it, I thought, oh, this is really interesting. I think this is going to be, it's one of those National Geographic sort of books, Wildlife Conservation Society. So I think it's going to be a phenomenal book for them. It's got some really good vocabulary for them. But when I've been listening to that group read, they don't speed read, but their comprehension is not as strong as what I would like it to be. I want them to be a little bit more thoughtful thinkers. So I have a book, and I'm going to see if I can find it real quick. So bear with me. I know this video is getting longer by the second. I have a book that I absolutely love. I moved all of my stuff around, so I hope I can put my hands on it pretty quickly. Oh, I can. Reading strategies. I absolutely love this book. So I want this group of kiddos digging deeper in a book. So I like to pull this book up from time to time. My print work, fluency, understanding plot and setting. It's a nonfiction book. Where's my nonfiction section? Now my pages are all stuck together. If you get a chance to follow, I think she's on Facebook, Jennifer Saravalo. She's on the back of this book. This lady right here. She's brilliant. She is absolutely brilliant. She talks about the difference between a strategy and a skill. And so oftentimes you'll hear admin and like in your standards meetings and anytime you have to talk to somebody from the higher ups, they're always referring to skills as strategies, and they're completely different. And so she's just brilliant. I absolutely love her. She does a writing one as well that gives some great tips for writing. I'm still in fiction. Give me 1 second. Oh, one of my tabbies is about to pop out. Okay, key details. So it is a nonfiction book. So here we have strategies for key details. So we just did a spin on the KWL, which is, that would have been good to use. Check yourself, gathering up facts, synthesizing. That would be a really good skill for them. Let me go to that. That is 9.5. Gathering up facts. After reading part of a book, it's important to go back and recall what you read. Gather up facts by listing them. You can start with, in this page, I learned, in a nonfiction book, facts come at you fast and furious, like raindrops in a thunderstorm. See, she does so good at, so the skill is synthesizing. Sorry, there's somebody outside my door. I don't know who it is. The skill is synthesizing, but she gives you lesson language and prompts, and then some chart support. Like if you wanted to do like a visual with your students. That actually is a very good strategy for that group. Gathering up facts is the strategy. The skill is synthesizing and monitoring for meaning. And I think that's going to be a phenomenal thing for them to work on, because that is something that they're having difficulty doing. They can read just to read, but reading and actually being able to talk about what they read, answer the questions that I'm giving them, other than surface level questioning, that's going to be a really good thing. So I'm going to write that down. I was going to visit with you about centers as well, but I think if I visit with you about centers, then this video is going to be another 45 minutes. So I'll do a separate center video. I am going to do a day in the life with me, hopefully one day next week. I will be out on Wednesday next week because we are doing our team planning day, but I will hopefully be able to kind of check in and bebop in with you from time to time next week. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I hope that this video was helpful. I hope that you were able to see how I plan my small groups. That is kind of the basis of what I do. I go day by day with these groups. I think about what I'm seeing them do in their whole group reading, what I'm seeing them do within some of their more independent work time, what I see them do during our OG, some of our phonics, with the skills that they need, and the struggles that they're having. And then I kind of take it from there to plan my small group lessons. So if they're struggling in our OG time and I notice that they're leaving out, the second consonant in a blend, then that's what we'll do the next day in reading group. So I really hope that this was helpful for you. I am going to continue. Like I said, I'll plan, I'll do a day in the life, and so you'll see some more of this small group kind of play out over the next couple weeks. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and I will see you guys next week.